Hey everybody, Dennis the Mace Boas coming at you here. It's been a while. I was on vacation, and I figured it'd be fitting right now to start speaking about individual boas. And being I was on vacation in Mexico, although not here, I figured this would be a good boa to talk about today. Vacation was great. Real quick, I'll cover a few things there. No, I did not see any boas. Of course, I've seen lots of other reptiles, but I did not see any boas. And I was not, of course, in the location that this is from. I was down in the Mexican Riviera, and did a lot of walking in Acamel, and I got the San Cain jungle down there. And I think I put up a photo or two on my page. I will get some more. Took some temperatures, which were, remember, it's May on the thermal gun. I had anywhere from, during the day, anywhere from 79 all the way up to 93, 94, I think, in some areas. And remind you, that's with canopy. I mean, it was hot outside. It was hot. We had days we were out in the sun. I mean, I could picture, like in the sand when we were by the ocean, it had to be darn near 100. I think the feels like, to give you a clue, was 106 one day, the feels like temperature. So it was getting mighty warm down there. But anyhow, this little boy is from the Tarahumara area of Mexico, which I was not. Also known as Tarahumara Boa or Boa Sigma. And a few giveaways on this would be its dorsal count. You'd be somewhere around 26 to 28, I believe, off the top of my head. This fellow's 27, so snout to vent. Nice sides, a little color to them. They are a fantastic beginner boa. They stay very small. They don't need a ton of feed. Their care requirements don't need to be huge if fed correctly. Now, I know some people are going to say this, that, there's some pictures of monsters out there in the wild. I believe there was one or two posted. I believe someone had sent one to Tommy once. Not saying that can't happen. I'm just saying I think in the collection that came here, which I believe, this is getting technical now. I don't know if I'm right. It's about '02, I believe they came in from Gus. And I believe he was the first to breed them successfully. And I would say the ones we see here in the collection stage are nowhere near the size of the one or two monsters that I've seen online. And I think that's, I haven't been there, so I can't say. I'd have to speak to somebody that's been there to actually see how often that is. But I think they are definitely a smaller boa in general. Maybe if overfed, they go, this guy is a male. He gets fed about every 3 weeks, at this size. And not very big. They don't need a lot of food. I'm not saying starve the boa to death neither. I'm not going to go with that. But I'm just saying they're not one of those boas to keep them true to what they were when they came here in '02. I think overfeeding is not a good idea. Let's just put it that way. I'm not up for the size argument, what's right, what's wrong, what's indifferent. I am expecting these this year. I'm expecting some babies. If I was a beginner, it would definitely be a boa that I would choose. And once again, its size is fantastic. If handled, the temperament's good. I will say, when they're first young, they can be loud. There's no way around it. Maybe to someone new, even scary, they're so loud, but a lot of it's a hoax. If you get them out there, reach in and get them out. If you're scared, maybe wear a glove. Once they're out, that goes away. And whenever little feist is left in them, goes away quickly. As you can see, this boa is fine, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was cleaning rodents earlier, so probably not the smartest thing, but the boa is still fine. Of course, I wash my hands or I'd be struck. You got to use common sense. But, for a male, I would say 3x2 or a simple 4x2, you'd be good for its entire life. I do know people will say, hey, no, wait a minute, I've kept them in a 41 quart their entire life. And I'm sure that would work too, but I don't do that. It's not for me. This little guy's already in a 4x2, and that'd be his permanent home. I do provide a hide. I like to get you could use more realistic and naturalistic if you want to, but with the amount of boas I have, it's tough. I like a cut oil pan from Walmart, bring it home, wash it out good, of course unused, new, washed out good anyway, and then put in with a hole cut in front of it. I like to keep one on the cool side, one on the warm side. Just the boas go back and forth to them. You could use cork log. You could use anything. A litter would be good. I didn't cover that along with the temperatures I found down there. I think I posted a picture of leaf litter. Leaf litter to me would probably be ideal, but you know, I don't use leaf litter myself, but I think it would be ideal after what I just saw this past days I was down in Mexico. I use myself for these, I use cocoa, but you know, I do like a substrate with these. Some boas I do keep on newspaper still. It's just what works best for me. Some of the larger boas, because they make a mess. I mean, these guys, when they go to the bathroom, is not a mess. A large boa can go to the bathroom like a dog can, so it's, you know, very different. Not can, they do. You know, these do not. Now, even as adults, these I would say, I don't know, probably female, 5 foot, 5.5 maybe. I got one gravid upstairs. I don't even think it's 5. And like I said earlier, I didn't get into it. I was expecting babies. They will be here this summer. You know, these are the real deal. I think this is another boa out there that you see a lot of questionable boas on. I'm not the boa police, but I do pride in my collection. I go to sources that I know are real, and that's who I get them from. Yeah, if in most cases I'll try to buy direct. These would be Rio Bravo for sure. I got these from a lady that worked closely with Vin for a lot of years. Good friends with Vin still, I believe. But you know, anyhow, they you know, the spear in the head is another sure way of telling these. Spear in the head, snout to vent count, appearance of the sides. You know, this is just a classic, beautiful example. Temperatures, again, you know, these things can vary greatly. Oh, geez, during the winter, breeding up there, I think I dropped her down to 70 all night long, 69, somewhere around there, for months and months. For me, that's just the way I do it at work. The male trailed after her, whether she was in the hot side and the cool side. And then the daytime temps, I get back up. I get them all the way up to, in the winter, 85, 86 for a few hours. And just, you know, they go over, they switch, they'll use it. And then, you know, when the natural spring came here, I've noticed a lot of heavy breeding, and then it stopped over. The male that followed her from, I don't know when I put him in exactly, probably November sometime. November throughout the winter, sometime in March, April, I think it was, just stopped following her. And then he was separate. He wasn't with her. I mean, he would follow her out to drink water. So it was very evident when he was done. And then he went in the shed, and then shortly later she went in the shed. All those are signs that the job's been done. And since then, she's been plugging on the heat, and she's been temping at 88. So the job has been done, in my opinion. And I'm about 99.9% sure of it. But we shall see. And but those are 3 indicators to those of you that I know. Breeding, I try to cover a lot because I get a lot of questions on it. And that's a sure sign. If you see a snake that's showing interest in the other snake, I mean, even following it out to go get a drink of water, it's trying to get on top of it. And then all of a sudden you notice, you know, the eyes changing color, they start to go opaque. Maybe a week before that, that male's always out of there. He's not even sleeping in there anymore. He may be over on a cool end at night just to be away from her. Those are all signs. And then you hit her with a temp gun. Once she goes in the shed and she's out of shed and she's 88, it's time to get the male out. I do leave the male in there all the way to that point, just to make sure, you know. Some people say it has no pending on fertility, doesn't. Once again, I'm not going to answer a question I don't know the complete answer to. I don't know that any of us do, by the way. But I leave him in there all the way until she sheds out. And then even though she's already went through a shed and stays in until she's dropped her shed. Then he comes out. There are rare cases where I have to go by temp, what I know in previous lays, because sometimes I'll have a female that does not have a post-ovulation shed. I have a one up there right now. Actually, it's she's a Russo I bought from Vin a long time ago. Me and my wife at the White Plains show. It's got to be 18 years, something like that. I don't know how long it's been. But she's had 3 with sheds, 2 without sheds, as far as her breedings. This year, she's again, and she shed. But the last 2, I believe it was, had no shed. One was the year of the fire, so that was just a disaster in general. That was just a disaster for all my animals. They all survived, but I'm saying, like, the breeding, half of them were gravid, and they got, you know, moved around because they're rebuilding the house. First from the fire moved to a whole nother address, then brought home. Then they're going to come in and they're using chemicals that I wasn't aware of, so I had to get them all back out, put them in the neighbor's house. Then I rebuilt the house, had to put them back in my house, and I think she had like 6 alive, and like the other whatever it was, 6 live, 14 that were just, it was bad, boob eggs. It was just a disaster, but I didn't expect anything more than that. And I did what I had to do at that time for the animals. But anyhow, I am looking very forward to some babies of these Tarahumaras. And if you're interested, once I post, you're welcome to reach out. I do have a list going. I do keep lists. These are a wonderful starter boa. They'll never get too big for you. And the temperament, as you can see, is pretty darn good. And the feeding requirements are not over ridiculous. So, like I said, I can't think, maybe a cakewalker or one or two others that would be just as good for starter boas, but this is a really, really nice boa to start off with. So with that, we're over and out. Thanks for watching. Glad to be back. Ace Boas.